The vaccine does not stop transmission, and yet the purpose of the regulation was to stop transmission to vulnerable populations, and that was the stated purpose in the title. And so the lower court properly held that that was arbitrary and capricious, because the State Administrative Procedures Act requires that if the department is going to rely on any kind of science, this is not a question of whose science is better. They didn't put any science in their regulatory impact statement. Right. They have to put that in the needs and benefits section. There's another point about mootness that I think is important. This is not the first time that the Department of Health has done this, where they suddenly repeal at the last hour and then say, let's vacate this problematic lower court decision. And in this case, they haven't even repealed. You know, the assurances of counsel, I think, must be tempered by what he originally said, which is this still has to go through the rulemaking process.
But I'm really stuck on this. Let's assume the Department of Health had rescinded this rule right the moment you commenced your proceeding, your action proceeding would have been mooted. The court could not take action. There'd be no justiciable controversy. Correct? Respectfully,
Your Honor, I disagree. Under the doctrine of mootness, voluntary secession is not a grounds for mootness for precisely that reason, because
which is
otherwise...
an argument for us acting on this appeal, nevertheless.
I don't know that it's necessarily moot. I think we would stipulate to withdraw it if this court were to take no further action to upset the lower court's ruling. But it is voluntary cessation, and it is capable of repetition. The Department of Health has, enacted these through these emergency powers over and over again, and then a permanent regulation. And we're only now able to review this in court. You know, it's taken years of litigation to get here, and if they can keep doing this every time there's a new flu vaccine mandate they want to pass, or COVID, if they want to put in another COVID vaccine mandate, or if they want to do the next pandemic, the next vaccine, this will happen again, and these people their lives have been ruined. They have lost everything, and we just want to prevent that from happening again. So to the extent that the lower court's decision can stand, and the state wants to withdraw their appeal, we have no issue with that. But to the extent that new rulings are going to upset the protection that was afforded by the